And I looked up and I thought a dragonfly got caught in the fence somehow. And then I came over here to film, and lo and behold, that's nature. Nature's taking its course over here. Dragonflies are beautiful, and I'm not trying to be like a dragonfly voyeur, sorry, but I just thought that was fascinating. Okay, so the dragonflies are still doing dragonfly things over here. My microphone is still on. I'm trying to get better about checking to make sure, because I've had way too many whoopsies with that. But I've got these now that I'm going to stick in here. So I really should probably put a bag of dirt in here or something first. I'm trying to get better about losing that tendency to want to just like hurry up and get it done and not do it right the first time, because I do that. And so I have these that I want to put in here, but I'm also looking at this soil level in here. See how low it's gotten? So if I want to if I want to put these guys over here, because I think I'm going to put them right here, then they need some dirt, right? I can't just like throw some business in here and be like, you're good to go. Because then what's going to happen is in the spring, I'm going to be like, why didn't I just do it right while I was there? Because I was in a hurry and I was impatient. So I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to grab dirt. So this, oh, okay, let's just set these down. The thing is not seated. There we go. So this right here, I would normally just kind of yank that and pull it out, but that's a snapdragon, and they, I don't know if this will actually regrow. I've had it happen though, and so if not, then the seeds are all in here, and they will pop up next year, hopefully. But let me move these over. We're gonna go get a bag of dirt, and let's see if I can get back to. Anyway, I probably didn't make my point, because, and I probably could make a better point, about what I was saying about the men and talking about their feelings, and I hope you heal from the things you don't talk about. So listen, and that doesn't just apply to men. I feel like even though like those videos and the things that got me started there were men, but I think even I have things, and I love to just be like all the cards on the table. Here's how I feel. Here's, blah, blah, blah. And I just let it fly. I don't really have a whole lot of shame. So, but I do think that there are probably things that I don't talk about that I probably need to heal from. And so that just really struck me this week. Not in like a sad way or anything, even though I said I wanted to cry. It's just that thing, when something hits your heart, or I swear the worst are the things that when you see them, you see yourself and you weren't expecting it, or it makes you have a realization about yourself. Man, those are the things that will twist my noodle for a really long time. I'm just trying to rip this open, by the way, with my hands instead of getting a knife like a smart person. But it worked, so we're good. And yeah, I still feel like there's bugs on me. Oh, there was bugs on me. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that they say that like when you don't like someone, or when you're like harping on something that someone is doing or not doing that pisses you off, that usually that means that you're seeing yourself in that person, and that's something you don't like about yourself. And so when you see it in another person, it turns you off and it makes you angry because, I mean, I guess, I don't really know, but I would think that, I think it's just, human nature and a subconscious recognition of the things you need to work on yourself. But it's easier to be mad about somebody else failing to meet your expectations than it is to be mad about yourself failing to meet your own expectations. And so I really believe that ever since I learned that years ago, I've kind of paid attention to the things and the people I complain about. And eventually it all comes down to, oh, yeah, I do that too. Or I act that way too. Or I don't do that and I know I should. And so when that's kind of one of the lines of thinking I went to when I started thinking about those videos and I hope you heal from things that you don't talk about. And I was like, why did that hit so hard? I think initially when I first saw it, it hit so hard because I was thinking of my husband. And also I was thinking of my boys, right? I have 4 boys. And, I do not have the perspective, the life experience, the experience of being a man. I mean, I can do my best to try to understand it, but I can't feel it, you know? And so I can only make assumptions, which is probably not the best thing to do. But, when I see things like that, that I think could, um, be something that my children or my husband has to deal with, it, 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 it hits, right? These are the people I love the most in the world. I don't want them to ever have a minute of pain, but that's not how life works. And I know that, but I think that's just our natural tendency as parents and as lovers of other people. We want to protect them from any sort of bad. But I started thinking about it more. I was like, maybe this is actually hitting you, right? Like maybe there's something that you need to talk about or think about or process through that you're missing. And I know that I've kind of had a little mini funk lately, and I've been going through a lot, like in my brain and emotionally, just because of all the changes, which are all good. Again, not complaining, but I find myself kind of at the end of every day going, what is it? Right? Like, what is it? I can't figure it out. I can't put my finger on it. I cannot name it. Right? So, like, am I worried about money because I'm making less money? Am I worried about the holidays coming up because it's another holiday without mom? Am I worried about my children? Because, like, I have one child who just accepted an internship in another state, so he's going to be moving in a couple months. Am I worried about, what am I worried about? What is it? And there's all these things that it could be, but when I like sit and think, I go, so like I'll process it. Is it the money? Well, maybe. Like, yeah, I'm not making as much money. Am I worried that we can't pay our mortgage? No. Nope. That's not like, maybe we can't buy extra things or whatever until I get this kind of like settled in and we figure out where we're at with the budget. But am I in fear of losing my car or my house? No, I'm not at all. So is that the thing that's got me like subconscious? I don't know. It seems like maybe it can't be because I don't actually have a whole lot of conscious fear around that. Is it, the holidays because mom won't be here again? This will be our second, last year she died in September, and then Thanksgiving and Christmas were difficult, obviously, but now we're going to come around to the second set without her. Is that it? I don't think so. There, I don't have any conscious thoughts of, you know, I don't know. I operate different than most people. Like, okay, so let me go off on another thing here. Because, like, on social media, I often see, especially on Facebook, because I'm 50, so most of the people I know use Facebook more than anything else. And um, it's funny too, because I do this YouTube thing, but I don't really share. I used to, but I don't really share anymore on my Facebook, my personal life and stuff. I just look at it. I don't actually participate. But I often see people who post, like on anniversaries of deaths, or birthdays of people that have passed away, and their parent, like their parents, like, it's been 7 years since Daddy went to heaven, and blah blah blah. And every time I see those, I cringe a little bit, because I instantly think that poor person hasn't healed. Like, that poor person is still living in a world where they can't accept that that person is no longer with us. Right. And it hurts my heart. And it also, it kind of frustrates me. Right. So, and then I start thinking, well, what's going on? Why does that frustrate you? Because you're the exact same way with your mom's death. Like, I haven't healed from that. I haven't even processed that yet. It's been over a year. So I don't have any conscious, like, constant, I miss my mom, blah, blah, blah. Like, and part of that, before y'all think I'm a monster, I am, I have object permanence issues, like, for real. If you are not within my sight, I'm not thinking about you. It's just, it's just, I know that probably sounds weird, but it's very factual about even my children. I love my children. And I've thought about them every minute of every day when we lived in the same house together. Now that they're adults and they're out on their own, I don't think about them all the time, right? Like, I'm not missing them and yearning to spend time with them. Just like I don't yearn to spend time with my siblings or my dad, or, like, that's the way I'm built. And so when mom passed, it's very hard. But what was hardest about it for me was the pain it caused my daddy. Right? Like, of course, I have my own pain, but watching his pain was way harder for me than actually feeling my own sadness, right? And that's just, I don't know if it's because of the brain tumor. I didn't used to actually be this way. I used to have a little more, I don't know, feeling in me. But, and you know what, it probably is because of the brain tumor, because they told me that people who have the kind of surgery that I had will often not feel, right? Like, they'll feel, but not extreme. So I don't ever feel extreme joy or extreme anger or extreme sadness. Like, I can get happy and I can get mad and I can get sad, but I don't ever get like those extremes. What I sound like when I am extremely excited about something is the way I sound right now. Like, it's all the same. I'm kind of one note. And there's good and bad to that. It makes it so that things like my mother's death don't hit me in my core, or my brain doesn't recognize it the way somebody else's would. But then it makes me feel like I'm this horrible, heartless asshole, right? Because I'm not posting memories of my mom every year, in September and January when her death happened and when her birthday would be. Like, so, and then you start to question, who are you? Why are you such a jerk? Why don't you care? And I think I live in a frequent battle between the emotions that my brain allows me to feel and the emotions that are actually there, right? Like, I think the emotions and everything are still there. My brain just can't process them because of the damage from the tumor and the surgery. I hope that makes sense, because I'm not an asshole, right? Like, I love people and I care about people and I want to be a good person, and all of those things matter to me, but I can't, like, force it. Like I can't, some people just so easily express joy and love and all those things. And for me, it's just not easy. It's just like I had gotten a text earlier this week from a lovely lady I used to work with, and she's great, you know. And I was telling Jose, you know, I heard from her, and I said it's so bad though because I always feel this guilt because I am never the one to reach out first and be like, "Hey, I was thinking of you. I miss you. How you doing?" Not me. That doesn't happen. It's never going to happen. And if you reach out to me and I haven't talked to you or seen you in a while, I may or may not respond. Like it's horrible. I'm just walking around, living my life, making people that matter to me think that I hate them or I'm a horrible person and I don't bother to respond. But I just, and here's the thing about it though. At the same time, when I think of it, when it occurs to me, like, oh, man, I didn't respond. I don't pick up the phone and then respond when it occurs to me. I just let it go. I just keep on moving with my life. Just do what I'm doing. I don't know. I'm not, that's, so it's one of the things that I think about, but I'm going to be real honest. It's not something I really want to do the work to change. It is what it is. I think that um, there are times when even good things can detract from your peace, right? And so, and what I mean by that is that if it's not natural or comfortable for me to pick up the phone and reach out to somebody I haven't talked to in a month, if that doesn't feel natural, if it doesn't feel comfortable, then why would um, want to do it? Which, again, I say it out loud and I'm like, God, I'm a jerk. But so that's what I mean by like even good things can threaten your peace. Because of course, if this is a person that I like to talk to, that I like to be around, then why on earth wouldn't I do that? Well, because I'm just not, I'm A, not built that way, but B, I'm also just not willing to put in the effort. I'm gonna be real honest. I swear. People that know me, I kind of hope they don't watch this one because they're gonna be like, "That's why she's such a jerk." But well, maybe I do hope they watch it so they know that I'm not actually a jerk. I just struggle. Um, I don't know. Again, I don't know if I've made that point either. I probably just made myself sound really, really bad. And then moved on. And I don't remember what the point was. Oh, I was trying to like process through the things that might be wrong. Again, so maybe that's the thing that's wrong with me is that I'm an asshole and I'm just now realizing it. But um, I crack myself up. I have been on this kind of quest for peace, I guess. I don't ever try to be happy anymore. Like, I think it's a scam. I think happiness, like the idea of like chasing happiness and I just want to be happy. I think that's a scam. I don't think that's life. I think that we can't just be happy the way you think of it, right? I think that contentment and peace are far more important and valuable. And so that's what I've been chasing is contentment and peace. And I'm getting closer and closer every day to those things for sure. And a lot of that is because I have to make the conscious effort to remove the things that destroy or threaten my contentment and peace. And so if sending a text or answering the phone or going to have dinner, I don't go to drinks or anything. I don't, but So I also used to suffer from the you know how like people want to make plans and you say yes, and then after that you hate yourself because you said yes because you know you don't actually want to do it, and then you just dread it and dread it and dread it, and you know 9 times out of 10 you end up like forcing yourself to go do the thing that you've been dreading, and it's fine. It was good, but you put yourself through however much anticipation and worry and ugh, for no damn reason. So I guess the ultimate point is that 90% of the things that I struggle with are self-inflicted. But we're working on it. We're working on it. I will say this. I have made some serious progress in at least one area that I can think of, because yesterday was the example. Yesterday I got done teaching. I went and ate, and um, I was getting ready. I was going to start doing gigs earlier than I normally would. I was just like, I'm just going to shove food in my face and then I'm going to get busy, because it's been a rough week. I hadn't made a lot of money, and I was like, I just want to, like, Thursday, it's a great day to like get orders and do and da 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 da. Well, I ate, and then I didn't feel good. Like I felt nauseous, like I was going to vomit, which is a feeling I have not felt in a while. And I was like, what? And then I was getting chills. And then um, I was like, I don't feel good. What is going on? Like I feel awful. And so I was seriously, I was trying to figure it out. I was like, have I been exposed to something? Am I coming down with something? Do I need to go home so that I'm not exposing other people to what I'm feeling? To, you know, like the sickness that I'm carrying, apparently. You know, so I was thinking all this through. And at the end of it, I decided, you know, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn on an app. I'll just rip the crud out of that. You see that? I just took all of this off. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on an app. I'm gonna see if I can get like a small order, like a just nice, calm. Let's see how we feel. Let's see if we can do a small one. And so that's what I did. I got a small order, and it was kind of cool too because I was able to actually help a nurse out. I had to deliver to the hospital, and so that made me feel good. I was like, oh, I got to help a nurse. Um, because she said when I dropped the stuff off, she said I didn't have time to go, but I was able to order. And I just felt so happy. That's one of the reasons why I love doing gigs, because I know that I'm helping people who are really busy. And it's just, I just like it. Anyway, so I did that. And then I took another order on another app that was like 3 items, easy peasy. And I just kept going. But while I was doing that second order, just that 3 item order, I'm like walking through the Target like this, just walking. I wasn't in a rush because I was taking my time. I didn't take too many orders. And then I went and I checked out, processed the order, and then I got to my car, and I got in my car, and this is what I texted Jose. It said, I either have a low fever and I'm getting sick, or I am currently burning 10,000 calories this very minute. Like I was hot, like so hot, and I was still a little nauseous. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. Well, by this point, I had already taken another order that I needed to do. So I needed to deliver this one, and then I needed to go shop another one. And so I was like, okay, just hang in there. If you still don't feel good, you can just not take any more orders and you can call it a day. Um, so I went into that, and y'all, I just kept going and I started to feel better, right? Like I started to feel better. My stomach stopped hurting. I wasn't nauseous anymore. My temperature leveled out. I wasn't sweating for no reason whatsoever anymore. My dirty fingernails. Squirrel, I know. And I was able to, I still like took it easy as far as like I didn't try to overstack orders and do things that I had to like rush through the store. I just very calmly went through, finished my orders. I did have an issue with one of my orders, but whatever. That that that's a whole nother thing. But here's the thing that I'm proud of in all of that. So 3 months ago, the minute I started to feel bad, I would have turn around and come home. I'd have been like, oh, can't work today. Not doing it. I don't feel good. Like just a little bit. Like I feel bad. I'm not doing it. And I would have given up on the whole day. I would have wasted the whole day. I would have started to feel like, and I would talk myself into being sick, right? You'd be like, oh, I feel awful. And the more you think about how awful you feel, the worse you feel. And so I didn't do that. There's a butterfly on there. Instead, I said, okay, let's take it slow. Let's try it and see. Now, I was fully prepared to have to pack it in if I felt like I was like contagious or something, right? Like if I was actually sick or I was going to vomit in the aisle of a store. I was being realistic about it. But that's the thing. I was being realistic about it, not dramatic about it. So rather than being like, oh, I give up, I stuck it out. And I went through, and going back to what I was saying earlier, the thing that's funny is that people who quit and don't finish something, those people irritate me. Well, guess what I have a habit of doing, a pattern of doing? I have a pattern of quitting and not finishing. So, oh, looky there. Hey, pot, this is the kettle, you know? So I felt even though actually Wednesday and Thursday both were not very good days for me. Teaching was great. That part of my days was wonderful. But the other part, the gig part, were not good days. But I kept going. I'm so proud of myself right now. And it seems ridiculous for a 50-year-old woman to be like, oh, I did my job. Yay, me. But it really is a big deal for me because I have such a history of a certain behavior that I'm making an effort to change. And I have, I have one example now of how I can actually change. I can actually do it. I can accomplish the thing I want to do. So for me, those wins, I swear, I've started really looking for small wins in life. And I've found, all right, something's biting me. I have found that when you start looking for the small wins, they're actually everywhere. Like you really can just find small wins in all of these places. Like I drive for a living now. So when I'm driving and I get 2 green lights in a row, I'm like, look at that. I got 2 green lights in a row. Like it's so exciting to me. And I feel grateful for it. I'm like, thank you so much for that green light. So I didn't have to stop and wait here. Like it's just the little small things. And it has helped in my attempt to improve my attitude overall. It has helped tremendously. It makes such a big difference when you're just looking for small wins. When you're looking for things, you find it, right? When you're looking for things to go wrong, guess what happens? It goes wrong. So that's why you probably have heard me, if you've been listening to me for a while, you've probably heard me go, but that's okay. But that's okay. But that's okay. Because I'll recognize the negative, right? But I got to move on because I have a tendency to get mired, to get bogged down in it, right? And stay in that negative. And I don't want to. I just want to be like, okay, I recognize it, but it's okay. Here's what I learned from it. And then I go and try to find a small win. So yesterday for me, powering through, and even though it wasn't the greatest day because I worked slowly and I didn't do a lot, it wasn't the greatest day financially, personally, and for my spirit, it was a wonderful day. I'm like super proud of myself. And I was like, I cannot wait to get outside tomorrow and just talk into the camera and process all of this. Even though I feel like this may be the most scattered talking I've ever done. That's okay. I know y'all feel me. I know you know that you've felt that way before too. I can't be the only one. There's no way. So, and look, I'm just pulling grass. Like this is That's the other thing too about today is that I had absolutely no project planned. I had no idea what I was going to do when I was out here. I just knew I needed to touch dirt and I needed to piddle around. And so that's what I've been doing this whole time, just random things. I did get those little shallots planted, of course, which is exciting because now they're not on my counter. And I picked everything I could out of the garden, which the Jose will eat, or like I pulled some of these peppers a little bit small. So those all dry. This probably sounds really weird, but a while back, we had a whole bunch of serrano peppers that Jose's mom had given us. And oh, they're spicy, like crazy spicy. And so I dried those and I was going to make chili powder. And then I realized they're way too spicy to make chili powder. Like it would be a 16th of a teaspoon in a whole recipe. They were so spicy. And we like spicy food. So I started drying these and other peppers without spice to like dilute it, I guess. And so all of these small ones I'll put in the dehydrator and then they'll just go to the chili powder. So the chili powder is probably going to take like a year to make because I have to add so many non-spicy peppers to it. But that's okay. It's dried. You know, like I know it loses its freshness and maybe some of its flavor. It'd be cool if it would lose some of its spice because that stuff is too hot for me. It's another thing that Jose and I've been talking about this week about how I'm struggling with the garden, right? Because when you aren't eating the produce from the garden, it's a different feeling. Like I still want the outside and the therapy and the work, but I'm much more anxious to get out and harvest and do all of the things when I know I'm going to get a vegetable out of it that I'm going to enjoy. Well, I'm not eating vegetables. I'm not eating herbs. So I'm not eating fruit. So we were talking about that because we had originally planned to do a fall garden and I just completely blew that off and he has been too busy. And so, you know, we were discussing plans. It was probably after he came out here and did some of this stuff. We were discussing plans and I was like, I'm sorry, but here's how I'm feeling about it. That because it looks like I'm going to be eating the carnivore way for a while still. You know, there may be a time when I move to just kind of a low carb, like keto-ish type thing. But for now, I'm eating carnivore. And so I don't have the motivation, like the end result doesn't matter to me the way it used to. So he was like, because he's so freaking smart, he was like, okay, well, you still want to be outside. You still want to do the actual like work because it's good for you. So how about we just think more long term and think more about putting up? So like canning and freezing and drying instead of thinking about fresh eating. I was like, okay. So because for a lot of things, like obviously you're not going to put up lettuce, so it's not a priority to plant lettuce. But tomatoes can be turned into tomato paste, tomato sauce, salsa. Peppers can be pickled. They can be dried and turned into a powder. I guess they can be frozen. You know, so he has helped me kind of go, oh, okay, that makes sense. I don't have to worry about eating it in the next week. What if I just prep for the future? And then also there is, well, you know, you get joy from sharing. So what if you just grow stuff for other people too, to like then share with other people? I was like, okay, I can get behind that. I can do that. So I'm coming around on the why, right? Like, because before the why for being out here was not just the physical labor and being out in the sun and all that. It was also the end result, the product that I got to eat. Well, the why kind of went away. And then Jose went, wait, you can still have that end product why. It just has to be shifted. So that's where I am right now. Like, that's why I wanted to get out here today, and I also kind of wanted to take a look. Like, I get to the point where I get so distracted by other things that I even forget what I got going on out here and what needs to be done. So I did get this dirt in here. I did get those planted. I probably could put some more dirt back in that corner. I don't know if I really feel like going. Let me look at this. I don't know if I really feel like going and getting another bag right now, but I might. You never know. I always say I'm going to do this, and then I do something different. This yarrow, I think it'll come back. I don't know. I've never had it, and it was in a pot last year, so I really hope it comes back. But some more dirt over on that side would be excellent. I've got those planted there. I did harvest. I texted Jose about the bugs on the field peas or purple hull peas, whatever. And I told him that we have to kill them before I can take that out, because I still feel like I have bugs crawling on me. But he said that needs to wait until at least Sunday, and he's right, because we actually have rain in the forecast. So, and like, it's Friday, it's not supposed to rain till overnight tonight. I guess we could like kill whatever. It's gonna wait. So I'm not messing with that right now. This bed, let's go over here. I mean, can you see how like cracked and dry? It's so dry here, y'all. I didn't know if I should water so that the rain doesn't just run off of everything, or if I should just let the rain come and see what happens. Oh, look, I put my things down over here and I didn't realize it. This bed over here has to be completely reworked. This is the one where the onions, when the onions get here next month, they're going to go in here. So all this grass has to be pulled out. That pumpkin and that pumpkin, you can actually see it in the middle of the grass maybe. And then this little tiny pumpkin that may make it, those are fine. They're going out over into the yard. But the rest of this, all of this needs to be pulled out. All of these weeds, this dirt, the irrigation needs to come out. The dirt needs to be reworked and added to. And there's just a lot that needs to happen in here. Today's not the day for that, though, unfortunately, because today's a piddle day. But, and I have at least, 2 weeks until those may show up. They just said November on the shipping. They didn't say November what. So when the onion starts to get here, it'd be wonderful to just be able to go pop them in, have it ready to go. And we are running out of dirt. This is what's left of the dirt. I think there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and like 10 or 11 bags there. That's all that's left. That was the dirt that my dad had scored for us for free. Like, we didn't have to pay for that. So I have to be selective about where I put it, because I don't want to be buying dirt here in the fall. I'll definitely use it over in the onion bed. And then when we get to the point where we're trying to take this stuff out and make the rows over here, we're probably just going to have to kind of line it, like draw it somehow with string or a small hill of dirt, and then actually add the dirt in the spring, because I'm not right before Thanksgiving and Christmas. I'm not really interested in trying to buy dirt. So what we have, we'll use up. And because all of this, I don't know how Jose wants to do it, but all of this is coming out. So those are staying, like, right, the arch, that's staying. But everything, so we have this row here, and then everything here is coming out, and then these are going to become rows. He thinks we can get 4 rows here. I think 3, and I do know that we want to plant along the fence line, so we want to use that space. But I don't know. So I think what's going to happen, he has a plan for this. I didn't ask yet. It's too much for me to know right now. But I think that all of this is basically just going to come out and be leveled. and then we'll build up from there. I mean, that's what makes sense to me, you know. It is not the way we did the other ones, which is why I'm like, yeah, we should just level it first, because we tried to like build those as we, anyway. It was, yeah, they ended up not being as good as I had hoped for. But this plumbago, this peach tree, which is actually alive, this flower bed, this peach tree, which I don't know if it's coming back in the spring or not. We didn't want to give up on it, but I think we might have lost it. And then this trough with the lantana in it. All of these things will stay here. I will probably, especially if this peach tree comes out, I will probably extend some planting into these areas, and maybe a little bit here instead of pots. Might put some plants there. I don't want to get too close to the tree though. But anyway, so we've got, and then we've got next to the house, which I need to put some kind of border on it because of what happened this year with everything just growing out so far. It looked really messy, which actually it doesn't bother me, but I do like the idea of having a border down here. And I don't know if you can tell, but this up here, this is part of the pad, like the dirt pad that they put down to bring the house in. And then it slopes down, right? Like they sloped it down. And so if I had some kind of border, maybe that would help the water stay in too. So yeah, I need to think of some kind of border for next year. But again, I'm not installing that in the winter. There's no reason for it to sit through a winter for no reason, because most of these things are going to die back and come back in the spring. So I don't know. I feel like we've talked. Nikki has talked today. I probably jumped around a whole lot, and I probably didn't make a whole lot of sense in a lot of different places. I'm probably going to edit this and go, okay, I didn't explain that at all. People are going to be like, what the hell is she talking about? But isn't that the point of scratching the surface? Isn't that what we do here? I think it is. So I got to go back and get these snips that I left in here. So I'm going to go ahead and call it for recording, because I still need to go shower and I need to cook some food, and then I'm going to go do some gig work. And, Friday, I'm just going to enjoy my Friday. I have to work tomorrow and be trained. Anybody out there that knows a teacher or has been a teacher or is a teacher, professional development. Yay. I actually really like training when it's good. I like to learn. So I'm hopeful that this is going to be good training that I'm going to go to tomorrow. It's 2 sessions, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. But yeah, I'm not even giving you something pretty to look at to end it here. We can look at my miniature rose. There's my miniature rose. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you had a great weekend, because this will probably post on Sunday. But I hope you have a great week coming up. And thanks for sitting here and listening to me ramble. Let me know what you think. And if you think you might have an insight, man, share that with me, because the number of times people say things that I go, oh yeah, it's amazing. And I love it. Yeah, I got to keep me honest, because I don't know everything. But have a great week. Thank you for scratching the dirt with me and for scratching the surface with me. Like, subscribe, share, do all the things. And I'm going to see you soon. Bye.